By integrating storytelling throughout evangelism and discipleship efforts, we elevate those processes from mere knowledge transfer to experiential engagement. Through witnessing and participating in real-life testimonies of faith in action, individuals form authentic and lasting bonds within the community. The power of storytelling lies in creating environments where people encounter living examples of God's transformational work and His transformational love. Within small faith communities, storytelling becomes a catalyst for intimacy and trust. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to explore the profound role of storytelling within our faith journeys and faith communities. Historically, storytelling has been treated as an afterthought, maybe an additive at the end of evangelism or discipleship programs, or something that we tack onto at the end of our marketing and communication strategies as a small percentage of those efforts. But today, I want to explore why storytelling should be reclaimed as an integral part of our spiritual lives. Drawing insights from psychologists like Dr. Kurt Thompson and reflections from early Christian fathers, we will discover the transformative power of storytelling in our faith communities. Again, traditionally seen as an addition to evangelism or discipleship training, storytelling has far-reaching implications beyond its current use. But why should storytelling take center stage? Or at the very least, a higher priority seat in our spiritual practices, shaping our relationship with God, others, ourselves, and creation. By examining the work of psychologists like Dr. Kurt Thompson and reflecting on the wisdom of early Christian fathers, I think we can truly grasp the transformative power of storytelling in our faith communities. From Augustine to Calvin, storytelling was not just a teaching method. It was a fundamental aspect of living out one's faith in a faith community. Among the early church, it was assumed. Early Christian thinkers understood the potency of stories to convey complex theological truths and inspire personal testimonies. Consider Augustine's Confessions, which continues to shape Christian thought across centuries. Augustine's Confessions is fundamentally a story of his personal transformation from a wayward youth to a devout Christian. He uses storytelling to illustrate his own moral and spiritual struggles, highlighting the process of conversion as a journey with many stages and setbacks. Augustine employs storytelling to delve deep into his inner life, reflecting on his thoughts, emotions, and motivations. This introspective method allows readers to connect with his experiences on a personal level, making his theological reflections more accessible and relatable. The work is framed as a prayer to God, giving it a confessional tone. Augustine's storytelling is not just about recounting events, but also about confessing sins, expressing gratitude, and seeking understanding and forgiveness from God. This confessional approach creates an intimate and honest narrative. He explores his story and the memories involved to better understand how and why he relates to God in the ways that he does. Augustine's storytelling is driven by his quest for truth. He recounts his engagement with various philosophies and religious beliefs, describing how each influenced him and how he ultimately found fulfillment in Christianity. The narrative demonstrates his intellectual and spiritual journey towards the truth. Throughout his narrative, Augustine emphasizes the role of divine providence in his life. He interprets events and experiences as part of God's plan, using storytelling to illustrate how God's guidance led him to faith. This perspective underscores the theological significance of his personal story. Augustine's Confessions is rich with moral and spiritual lessons. Through storytelling, he conveys the dangers of sin, the importance of humility, the need for God's grace, and the transformative power of faith. His personal anecdotes serve as teaching tools for his readers. Augustine frequently interweaves biblical stories and references into his narrative, drawing parallels between his experiences and those found in Scripture. This technique enriches his storytelling, situating his personal journey within the broader context of Christian salvation history. Augustine's Confessions assumes that storytelling is a powerful vehicle for expressing the complexities of the human soul, the journey of faith, and the workings of divine grace. Through his personal narratives, he invites readers to reflect on their own lives and seek a deeper understanding of God. Narratives were not tangential. They formed the core of early Christian teaching and community life, showing how storytelling has always been intricately woven into the fabric of our faith. Dr. Kurt Thompson, among other psychologists, has dedicated extensive research to understanding the impact of storytelling on our brains and our overall well-being. According to Thompson, storytelling goes beyond entertainment or education. It has the power to transform us. Sharing our stories within community fosters a greater sense of belonging and identity, allowing us to integrate various aspects of our experiences within our faith. This therapeutic approach aligns our lives more closely to God's redemptive narrative, shaping our individual and communal spiritual growth. Storytelling, often limited to a single session or rare occurrence within ministry contexts, is an underutilized tool with immense potential for connection and relational development. By integrating storytelling throughout evangelism and discipleship efforts, we elevate those processes from mere knowledge transfer to experiential engagement. Through witnessing and participating in real-life testimonies of faith in action, individuals form authentic and lasting bonds within the community. The power of storytelling lies in creating environments where people encounter living examples of God's transformational work and His transformational love. Within small faith communities, storytelling becomes a catalyst for intimacy and trust. When we vulnerably share our stories, inviting others into our struggles and triumphs, empathy flourishes and mutual support thrives. As a result, community dynamics shift from structured sessions to organic and meaningful interactions, mirroring the communal nature of the early church. By embracing storytelling as a foundational practice, churches nurture a culture of authenticity and interconnectedness that propels spiritual growth and collective transformation. To genuinely reclaim storytelling, it must become routine rather than rare. I spent a lot of time thinking about the reasons why storytelling has become such a lost art in the church. One of the conclusions is that it's not something that we practice. In a future video, we'll explore the implications for storytelling as a spiritual discipline. For today, let's just explore the idea at a high level. As ministry leaders, we need to equip ourselves not only as teachers, but also as facilitators of storytelling. Empowering community members to share their narratives ensures that storytelling remains central to congregational life, reigniting the spirit of storytelling that characterized the early church. It's time to restore storytelling to its rightful place at the heart of our spiritual practices, an art form that enlivens our faith and breathes new life into our communities. As we conclude our exploration of the transformative power of storytelling within faith community, let's remember the profound impact it can have on our faith journeys and faith communities. Stories have the ability to integrate our past, present, and future selves, forming a tapestry that beautifully intertwines our narratives with God's ongoing story of redemption. As Kurt Thompson argues, stories have the ability to integrate our left brain with our right brain. As Thompson puts it, one of the wonderfully mysterious outcomes of storytelling and listening is their capacity to enable our left and right modes of processing to integrate. The left and right brain are integratively woven together in a way that doesn't happen when someone simply reads or listens to the text that invokes logical, linear, right or wrong processing. A person who listens empathetically and responsively as someone else tells his or her story is able to validate the storyteller, and through questions and musing, arouse that individual's curiosity so he or she will consider alternative ways to imagine his or her story. At the same time, emotion and memory that have been buried deep in the storyteller's right hemisphere and lower brain emerge. This interpersonal interaction exposes these functions of the mind and facilitates the integration of various layers of neural structures and brain systems, which in turn creates new neural networks. The firing patterns of these networks, though previously potentially available, did not exist before such interactions took place. Reclaiming the art of storytelling requires intentional effort, shifting it from the periphery to the core of our spiritual practices. So join us on this transformational and transformative journey and allow the power of storytelling to shape your faith, enrich your relationships, and ignite your passion for sharing the remarkable story God is weaving through all of us. How might you incorporate storytelling into your own faith community, deepening the sense of belonging and cultivating stronger connections? In closing, let's embrace the timeless art of storytelling, recognizing its ability to shape our spiritual lives and create transformative communities. Don't let storytelling simply be an afterthought and an additive that you tack on at the end. Let's let our stories become a testament to the power of God's redeeming work in our lives. Thanks for listening.